Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is Russ Leteau here with the Healing Center. I'm speaking to you from Alberta, Canada. We're actually outside right now. It's probably about minus 30 degrees Celsius, and when it gets that cold, it's not a whole lot different than minus 30 degrees in Fahrenheit. So everything is froze up, and we're shivering a little bit today. I was chatting on another, actually, Blog Talk radio program earlier today, and the host, I almost want to say he's from Florida, but wherever it was, I think it was like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So I was somewhat jealous, but that's okay. We'll get by, and everything works out great. So as I said, my name is Russ Leteau. I'm the founder of the Healing Center. Our website is www.healingcenter.ca, and that's center spelled C-E-N-T-E-R. So I'm going to kind of continue on and finish up, if you will, where we were going with on the last program, which was talking about the manifestation ladder, and relate that to, I guess you would say, to probably experiences that pretty much just everybody listening is walking through now, and that's the economic challenges that we see around us, and how, and sometimes I don't think we realize, first of all, how much we affect our external environment, not just by what we do, but by what we think, by what we feel. And so I'm going to take that and sort of relate it to that manifestation ladder. So the chat room is open. However, I run both of them. I obviously do the on-air speaking, and then, of course, we have the chat room going. So if you have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to leave them there. I will probably reply on air as well. So I'd like to talk to you about a couple of things. So the first thing is I want to talk to you, and I put the link actually in the chat room just before we went on the air. And as I said, it's another blogtalkradio.com show. And, in these times of challenges, I believe it's a wonderful opportunity to think about something different, to think differently. Maybe it's an opportunity for a change in career. And, so many times I feel we get the most wonderful gifts that come wrapped up in sometimes really lousy wrapping paper, And at first glance, when we look at the external, sometimes it's not pleasant, But if we can learn to look past the external to what lies beyond it, to have the audacity to look at some of these events and say, I wonder how this can work out for my benefit. And when you first start to do that, it might sound, really artificial. And you might go, yeah, well, okay, here I'm sitting in this really miserable situation, and I'm saying, I wonder how this is going to work out for my benefit. And it almost sounds so hypocritical. And in the beginning, that's probably what it will feel like, because what you're doing is you're starting to shift the momentum from one direction to another. And in the beginning, when that shift starts to happen, you probably won't feel anything different, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But back to my other friends my friends at the School of Social Marketing, and as I said, I was listening to their program this morning. A couple of really neat fellas, and in the last while, I've been really working on establishing, I guess, if you will, I'm going to say more of an online presence through Web 2.0 technology. So that's, well, for instance, this radio program is one example of it, on the social networking sites and different things like that. And I've listened to their programs on many occasions, and I download them and listen to them on my MP3 player. And, it's really opened up a whole new world and whole new avenues of reaching out and connecting with people. And as I said, this show is a prime example of it that I guess I hadn't really thought of before. And so when I was listening to this program, and they talk about, the different ways of reaching out and different things like this and real-world applications and that type of thing, and also illustrating that they sort of practice what they preach, and it's not just all theory and not just all philosophy for them, but they really, they are practicing what they speak about. I think that's so important. And it really sort of got me thinking in a totally different direction. So I wanted to put in a plug for them. And as I said, they were so gracious to let me chat for a little bit on their program this morning. So it's in the chat room. And, if you are listening to this and, maybe if you're being presented with an opportunity to do something different, or maybe a requirement to do something different, the Internet, and especially as I said, the social networking aspect of it is really shrinking the globe. But in doing that, it's opening up a whole new world of opportunities for folks just like yourself. And the beauty of this is it doesn't require a huge amount of investment in dollars and a huge amount of investment in time. Now, it takes some time because it's just like learning anything new, but there's tremendous opportunities there for everyone and anyone to reach out and connect with others. And I actually read an article, it must have been online, about talking about how in these times people are starting to flock, if you will, to the multitude of social networking sites out there for support. And as I said, on the Internet, there's no such thing as geography or distance. And so it's a wonderful forum when you learn how to use it and learn how you can benefit through using it. The other website I would like to just talk to you about, and I will just put it up in the chat room, and there's the address for it. And it's actually built on the healingcenter.ca website. And it's our website called Just Say No to a Recession. So if you go there and the website domain, if you just go to healingcenter.ca, on the main page, you'll be able to click on the link that goes to our No Recession website. And what my thoughts behind that was I wanted to build something that had nothing but positive things on it, had uplifting information on it, had that type of thing. And there's actually a little tool on there that you can add your positive thought or your little bit of positive news. And actually I encourage you to forward me any articles or anything that you may find that talks about people that are finding opportunities during these times, and positive uplifting news stories. So when you go on there, you can click on the link and you can send me the web address, any information about it, and I would appreciate it if you would do that, because I'm going to continue to add those. So when people go there, all they're going to see is inspirational, and they're going to see people that are not only, sort of surviving, if you will, through these times, but thriving through these times. And I actually just have in front of me, and these are two articles that I actually have taken from that website, and the one talks about real estate, interestingly enough. And this is from an individual that talks about, she talks about the pressure of the slacking economy may have finally triggered a positive reaction. And she's talking about how that interest rates, this is out of the U.S., I believe, interest rates, of course, have been very, very low. And so, for some folks that are looking at, I'm going to say, let's say refinancing or something like that, that's a positive thing about it, right? And then there was another one, I'm just going to flip over to it here, that I found. This one here, I believe, is out of the UK, and it's talking about, the company name is Morgan Sindall, and it looks like they might have something to do with construction or different things like that. And it says here that their share prices rose, this is, I think, the last couple of weeks, rose just about 6%, and they say they're on track for a record profit for the year ending of December of 2008. And it talks here about, yes, some of their construction sector has declined. However, they're talking about the whole government-funded project is definitely ramping up, right? The other thing that I was listening to was a talk show on the radio, and they were talking with an economist, I believe, and they were talking about, is there opportunities left in the stock market right now, and what to buy if there is? And he was saying, well, he's saying the spots to look at, and as I said, this is from